It is Thursday, and you know what that means. Bleacher Report, IG Live, let's talk about it. I'm your host, Jeff J. I'm a video producer here, culture critic, and the person that you need to talk to if you're talking anything pop culture. And today, I am joined by a man that I look at every day across at my table on the Social Stories team. Stick the Football Zone, Connor Rogers. What's up, brother?
What's going on, man? Well, we're not sitting on the couch. We're right across each other from the desk.
Right. We're always close to each other. We're rocking now. And speaking of rocking, salute to the 2019 class of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We got Radiohead, Janet Jackson, Def Leppard, The Cure, Roxy Music, Stevie Nicks. Shout out to all my American Horror Story fans on that. And the Zombies.
It's a loaded group, and I didn't even realize this, Jeff. Janet's been eligible since 2007.
Yeah, I mean,
and third time's a charm. Nominated for the third time.
Right.
Gets in Radiohead, Legends. So a pretty loaded class for the Rock Hall.
Yeah, man, and that's like all of our childhoods coming up now.
Yeah,
it's really
old.
good. You're right, a little bit old. You know what I'm saying? But these are legends that are getting their due. So salute to them. And speaking of legends and legendary performances, the Raptors seem to have the Warriors' number. They put the Warriors in the dub club yesterday, beating them by over 20 points. Kyle Lowry, 23 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, almost a triple-double, and they did it without Kawhi.
That's what's crazy. Everybody in the starting lineup had double-digit points. That's a deep Raptors team. When they could win like this without Kawhi, I think my question is, though, is this the regular season Raptors, or is this going to translate to the postseason Raptors?
Right, and let us know what you think. Drop us a line in the comments. Let us know, do you believe the Raptors are for real? For me, I've seen this movie before. I know it's different actors, but I've seen this movie before from the North. They do well in the regular season, but in the postseason, it doesn't translate. And I know they had that LeBron cloud over them for the most part, but now it seems like they have a new energy around them. So I think these are small steps, but I want to see what they do going forward.
Yeah, I'm buying in more than ever, but let's not forget, after the Celtics hit that rough patch, they've won 7 straight now. So we've seen what the Celtics can do in the postseason. I think that's the matchup to keep an eye on, but I'll say this is a better Raptors team, or at least built better for the postseason than what we're used to.
Yeah, let's see what y'all talking about in the comments. Yathavan says, Raptors versus Lakers finals. If this is true, I need to go to my bookie right now and put that on, because that might be the most unlikely thing that I've seen, but I hear you. Justice Sims 777, but can they beat them in a 7-game series? Can anybody beat the Warriors in a 7-game series? What do you think?
I don't think so. I'm not going to buy that the Warriors are vulnerable until we see it. I know that's kind of a cop-out answer, but like, let's be real. If we buy into this, we fall into this trap every year, and time after time again, the Warriors are going to end up on top. So, and there's another really good one then for Avier Drake. Don't follow the hype until the finals, followed by Nicholas Chai saying Golden State just chilling.
Right, but this is the thing. I know it's cool to say the regular season doesn't matter, but you practice the way you play. If you've played any sport, if you've been in any performing art, you have to play the games the way you want to play them. And I know Golden State can turn on the switch whenever, but they almost got caught out there against Houston. And if Houston didn't miss 45 billion threes, we might be talking something different. So I get it, Houston is chilling. Golden State is chilling, but how much can they chill until they get caught out there? And I see right now, EJ Love, 2lift_Thompson, thank you so much for that long name. I'm like twisting my tongue. They will be the team to beat in the Eastern Conference. Josiah Ramos, how far ahead is Luka Doncic in the Rookie of the Year race? So for the first question, I'll say, I can't disagree with you. They're the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Kawhi isn't there, and they're still winning. They've looked solid on offense and defense. Like, this has been probably the most complete Raptors team that I've ever seen. And I know it was hard for them to lose DeMar, but you didn't want to keep doing the same thing over and over again. And it's showing right now. Them, the Celtics, and the Sixers, those are my top 3 right now.
Yeah, I think there'll be a payoff here. Like I said, when all 5 of your starters are in double digits, and that means something to me, especially without your superstar player. So I think this is the Raptors team that is built to get to the finals. I'm not really as worried about the Sixers as I am with the Celtics, just because Kyrie, they're well coached. This team has been in the big moment. So I think those are the two teams from the East that I want to keep an eye on the rest of the way.
Ryan G says this Raptors team is not a Cinderella story. I hear you. I don't
Totally
think they're
fair.
a professional team.
Yeah.
They are a team that's solid. That Kawhi trade might get Masai the GM the award for the best front office. You know
And
what
I
I'm
like
saying?
this next one from the star from afar. Toronto Raptors long stretch of road marathon, not a sprint. Watch, wait, and see.
That's the North right there.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
the North speaking to you. I know the North remembers, but down here in New York, I remember too. I remember y'all getting eliminated year after year after year again. And if LeBron did that to you, you think the Warriors are gonna do anything less? I don't know. Like I said, you gotta show me. I'll be the doubting Thomas. You gotta show me. I have more faith than I've had ever. Agent Agnew, realtor. DeMar couldn't lead them to the promised
He's
land.
right. He's not wrong. I think the biggest question, the last question I have with this conversation is the Raptors just making it to the finals a successful season?
Just making it to the finals?
Just making it to the finals. Is that a successful season after they didn't blow up everything last year, but made some significant changes?
Nah, it has to be a successful season because it's finals or bust.
Yeah.
If they don't make it this year, if they could try to sign Kawhi and restructure the team, or they have to blow it up.
Yeah.
Because they've been in that middle ground of conference finals, semifinals. They've been there. If you can't supplant and go to the next level, then you have to change it up. That's the only way. That's the only way I can see. Raw Mind Sports. Raptors can't beat Golden State in a 7-game series. No way.
I'm with them.
I wouldn't say no way. There's always a way. If 2016 showed you when, you had a 73-win team, with the unanimous MVP, and you lost a 3-1 lead, tell me if you heard this story before. There is always a way. I don't know if the Raptors are that way.
Yeah, I think that's a lot to ask. And our guy here, Enrico Vallejos, Raptors hungry, but Celtics are hungrier. Do you agree with him?
I don't know, man. I feel like the Celtics know who they are, and they got everybody back. But if they're hungrier than the Raptors, that team traded the face of their franchise away to get to the finals. That, to me, sounds like they're starving. That's beyond hunger. That's, I haven't eaten in a month, and I need a meal right now.
And they took Kawhi, or made the aggressive move for Kawhi, knowing they're all in on this year. You don't know what lies ahead in the future if you're going to be able to get, the deals done, keep the core together. So it's hard to say the Raptors aren't hungry.
Well, I'm hungry right now because it's the fantasy playoffs. It's Thursday night football. It is Chiefs. It is Chargers. Pat Mahomes, to me, is the leader in the MVP race. Let us know in the comments, who do you have as the current MVP? Mahomes is doing his thing, but people have forgot about Phillip Rivers, and he's making them remember this year.
I'm so glad you said it. This is not just Chiefs-Chargers. This is the battle of potential MVPs. Mahomes is the front runner right now. Rivers is sitting there right in that third place kind of voting when you look at this. But when you look at Pat Mahomes, it starts with him. He's got 43 passing touchdowns through 13 games. Last year in the same offense, Alex Smith only had 23 at this time. So he's given the Chiefs 20 more passing touchdowns already. I can't pick against Mahomes.
Listen, I need Mahomes to do work. I need Keenan Allen to do work. I need to not be the number 1 seed that blows the bye to not get into the fantasy playoffs. But I'll tell you this much. Phillip Rivers, to me, is going to go down as one of the most underrated quarterbacks in league history. I know Breeze has been the talking point for a while.
Yep.
But Phillip Rivers, this is I feel like, to me, y'all let me know in the comments, but if there is one quarterback that I would want in a foxhole with me or to go to war, this is the same dude that I saw tear ACL and get carried during that playoff run to get carried by his offensive line. He fights. He could have broken bones, broken spirit. And you always know that when it comes down to the final 2 minutes, something is going to happen with Phillip Rivers. He's going to either make it happen or try to force the issue and still make something happen, good or bad.
And let's not forget, for how good Rivers has been, at 36 years old, he's having a career season.
Yeah.
That's insane. When you look at Los Angeles, they're playing tonight to tie that division. They might quietly be having the best season in the NFL in terms of just going under the radar. So I can't wait to see this matchup. Now, there's going to be some disappointed fantasy owners because potentially no Melvin Gordon and no Spencer Ware. So running backs on both sides, probably out for this game.
Yeah, it's funny you said Los Angeles. I was like, Los Angeles?
Yeah.
I'm still in
Not
Diego.
San Diego.
Ben Pierce, 1, 2, 3. Is Pat Mahomes the best QB in the NFL?
I'm not picking against him right now.
I'll let you answer that first.
I'm not picking against him right now. If I had to go into just any
Week 15
one
right now,
singular
Week 16.
game, I'm going to take Pat Mahomes. Now, I understand in the postseason, because of experience, there's people that'll take Tom Brady. Some people I know he struggled this year, but would still go with Aaron Rodgers. Right now, just in a nutshell in this season, to me, it's Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, I think you're either talking, if we're talking just this season, I'm going to say Pat Mahomes and Drew Brees. I'm a little biased because I'm in a 2 QB league, and those are my QBs.
Must be nice.
Troll whoever you know in my league that let that happen, by the way. But I think Drew Brees is also in that reminding people who he is, because all he does is just break records and continue to break records. But I think the surprise of Mahomes, where he literally, I won't say he came out of nowhere, but people thought he was going to be good, but I don't think that he was going to be as elite as what he's doing. And he just seems to hit another gear. Even when he gets knocked down, he comes back stronger. He's like the Super Saiyan of quarterbacks right
100%.
now. Every game makes him stronger. Let's see. Y'all are funny. D Salceda 08 says Tim Tebow is the MVP. I don't know about NFL, maybe of other things, but NFL. What do you think about Felipe Alvarez 12 says Gurley? You know, I know it's hard for running backs to win the MVP role. What do you think about that?
It's become a stats-based award, but it has become also a wins-based award. And when you look at what Gurley does for the Rams, I get the argument, but I think at the end of the day, he's going to fall behind the voters that are going to have it really Mahomes, Breeze, Rivers. Another really interesting one from my guy, Antha Oreo, big stick to football listener.
Yeah.
Andrew Luck should be in the discussion. I'll tell you this, Andrew Luck's probably got Comeback Player of the Year award wrapped up. Don't think he'll be in the MVP conversation.
Right. The star from afar, Chiefs versus Chargers. What's not to love? This game, just sit back and enjoy. This matchup equals a thing of beauty.
Spot on.
You know what? I got a hot take for you. You remember the game, what was it, Chiefs-Rams, where they went straight video game?
Yeah.
I think this could happen. If everybody was there for the Chargers, I would be confident in it, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is another barn burner.
If both teams go over 40 points, I wouldn't be the slightest bit surprised. At the end of the day, because they're at home and the Chargers have lost their last 4 at Arrowhead, I'm going with the Chiefs. But I agree with you, it's going to be a shootout, and I think the fantasy football players that have players on these teams, especially those quarterbacks, they'll be pretty happy at the end of this one.
All right. So, real quick before we go to our next topic, Mike Somerville, Saints are the best in the NFL. One and only brother, no Drew Brees is the best in the league. I'll say this, in terms of the Saints being the best in the NFL, I'm not mad at that, because after what the Rams did against the Bears, they take a notch down. But I would say, for me, Drew Brees is definitely him and Mahomes, top 2. The Saints are the best in their building. They need to get the #1 seed. If they get the #1 seed, I'm not betting against them.
The Saints in the Dome are the team you ride with if you're making picks in the postseason. Also, let's not forget, Sean Payton was the play caller and the head coach for a Saints team that won a Super Bowl.
Right.
So he's been there before.
Right.
Andy Reid, you know, how is he going to do with Pat Mahomes? It's a 23-year-old quarterback potentially in the Super Bowl. It's a lot to ask. I agree. I'm riding with the Saints.
Right. And before we go, you want to talk about, yeah, Lefko, why are you doing this to us? Who wins the Hunter Henry versus Derek Johnson matchup? This is Adam Lefko. If you've been on social media, you know that
I love it.
There's been a lot of miscommunication with the actual games that are going on. So I hate you for that comment, but I love you still. Talking about miscommunication, what do you do when the GOAT smacks you upside your head? This is what MJ did to Malik Monk. So basically what happened is he got a tech for running on the court before the game was over, and MJ wasn't really pleased. He wanted to show his frustration.
He misses.
Listen, that's how you know he was determined. He whiffed before, and Malik his spider sense must have went off or something, and he just moved up, and Mike waited to hop back in the conversation and smack him again. In the comments, let us know, what would you do? How would you react if your boss smacked you upside your head?
Well, when your boss is Michael Jordan, there's nothing you can do. That's the problem with all this. I mean, when you look at that, I love how MJ misses, has time to think, maybe I shouldn't do this, and goes, no, I'm doing this all over again. I don't know. How would you react?
Listen, I was triggered because that was probably a lot of my childhood. When my mom and my dad, you say something, you just feel the air go by your head, and you're like, what was that? You know what I'm saying? But I think it's also kind of accepted because he was a player. So it's almost like he has that player camaraderie with his team and everything. And yeah, that's the Boston, that's MJ. So he's even like, you see Malik reacting like, yo, dude, like, come on, Mike, it's me, like, whatever. But yo, your boss smacks you upside your head. You gotta either have a different type of relationship with him, or listen. Pinocchio, shout out to Dave Pinocchio. You hit me in the head, Dave, I'm hitting the floor, and I'm like, my body, my neck, maybe $1 million. I think only $1 million will solve this. I don't know, but let's see. What are y'all saying? Justin says 777. LOL, that was so funny, but MJ showed that it was all love.
Exactly.
He showed love in his scowl, where he was just like what the hell are you thinking?
It wasn't malicious. It was more like, come on, man. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, let's see. What is Jeezy? Jeezy Saint says, I would just take it. That's a sign of love from the GOAT. Yeah, you say that until you get smacked upside your head. Like, shout out to anybody who got a fresh fade and went to school and got fade smacked. If you got fade smacked, I don't think you would think that was love from the GOAT. And that was it. And and you can tell that Mike did the cup smack where it was just up enough to just catch him on the brim of the back of the skull so that you know you was messing up.
Yeah, it's nothing too serious. It's fine.
Yeah. All right, so Mike.
One more good one.
Let's get this before we go. Omri Kelly, didn't think nothing of it, and that's the GOAT, so it's like my big coach. Yeah, I say it. Once you have that camaraderie with MJ, that's MJ. So it's just like, you smack me upside my head, I'm happy you talking to me. But that is funny. Like, you guys were great. Y'all are awesome. That does it for us. Connor, how'd you enjoy it?
It was great, and guess what? We'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, you're gonna get double Connor and Jeff again tomorrow. This is Let's Talk About It on IG Live, and we'll talk to you later.